So because I was from IT, I had a lot of interest in mobiles and computers during those days. I put his number on parallel observation. That is, I could listen to his calls. So I wrote to the Home Secretary and got permission to listen to his phone calls. And I thought it would be a cakewalk arresting these people just by listening to their conversations. But just within 2 days of my overhearing his conversation, I heard the voice of my own officer talking to this man.
Saman Pratap and Horlicks. The most interesting and incredible story for us, but I'm sure a lifetime worth of an experience for you. I'd like to tell my viewers that Amit Sir, very early on in his career, managed to arrest the most dreadful and deadly criminal of Bihar. We will be calling him Saman Pratap, along with his right hand Horlicks. Please spare no details, sir. Take us through your journey and your very significant achievement.
We all know that things were very difficult in Bihar around 15, 20 years back. Kidnapping, extortion, murders, gang wars, they were the order of the day. And things were very challenging. The police was understaffed, under resourced, and there were a lot of pressures on us. But the government changed in 2005, and the government stressed on Susashan, that is good governance. And unfortunately, just within 2 months of the new government having been formed, Sawan Pratap killed 15 people in a span of 24 hours. And as you know, he was a very cruel person, and he was a gang lord whose writ ran large in at least 4 districts of Bihar. And he escaped from Nawada jail after killing 5 policemen. He had committed almost 50 or 60 murders, and with impunity, he had killed a sitting MP, a sitting MLA. He went to their houses and killed them there. So he was a terror for Bihar police and the public in general. And I was posted to Sheikhpura to nab this person. Truth be told, initially I was very disappointed because I've always been used to bigger postings, better postings. And once I reached there, I went and met the family of the deceased. And I felt very bad. I cursed myself that I was thinking about small things in life, my postings and my assignments, whereas entire families had been destroyed. And it was my constitutional duty to bring justice to these people. So I decided that I have to arrest this person, and I knew that conventional policing will not help me because the moment the police party used to leave the police station, this man was alerted by his sympathizers, his supporters, even his moles in the police department. So because I was from IT, I had a lot of interest in mobiles and computers during those days. I put his number on parallel observation. That is, I could listen to his calls. So I wrote to the Home Secretary and got permission to listen to his phone calls. And I thought it would be a cakewalk arresting these people just by listening to their conversations. But just within 2 days of my overhearing his conversation, I heard the voice of my own officer talking to this man. I can imagine how betrayed I felt. And I was livid with anger, but I controlled my rage because I overheard the officer telling him that this SP is very smart. He must be using something mobile or something to track you down. You just switch off your mobile phones. If I take an action against the officer charge then and there, then his suspicions would have been confirmed. So I just remained quiet, remained cool, and did not show any expression even to the officer in charge that I knew what he was talking to Saman Pratap about. And then Saman Pratap switched off his mobile phone. His associate Horlicks also switched off his mobile phone. But fortunately for me, Horlicks was having an affair with his bhabhi. So he could not resist the temptation of talking to her every few days. He changed his SIM card, his mobile number, and everything, but still I could trace him down. So it took me a lot of efforts to trace him out. And finally, I sent an officer named Ranjan. He was a brilliant officer, very brave officer, and very honest and ethical to catch hold of Horlicks. So it was a very filmy style arrest. Ranjan had a scuffle also with him, went to his house and arrested him. And once we got Horlicks, I knew that Samant Pratap will be rattled because Samant did not know how Horlicks was caught. He was totally taken aback. He was surprised that somebody who was hiding and who was incognito, incommunicado, he's suddenly been arrested by the police. And then Samant Pratap, in the meanwhile, had changed all his mobile numbers, his SIM cards, everything. But I knew that he would be in touch with some people. It's not possible that you go totally underground and don't call anybody. And I put the numbers of those people as sympathizers, as supporters, all of them, all their numbers on parallel listening. So, Mashika, there was a time when I was sleeping with 4 or 5 mobile phones under my pillow. Whenever a mobile phone used to ring, I used to pick it up and listen to the talks for hours. My ears started ringing. I was really tired. My ears used to get hot listening to phone calls for 2 hours. That if I get that one hint or one clue where he was. And but Samant was very smart. He did not call anybody except for one person, and there was no talk as such. But again, Lady Luck smiled on me. One day, Samant wanted to talk to his girlfriend. So rather, the girlfriend wanted to talk to Samant, and
Uh,
she called Samant. Samant was not very happy, and he told her that, "Why did you call me on this phone number? I told you to keep it a secret." She said, "मुझसे रहा नहीं गया." So promptly I put that girl's number also on observation. And after a lot of ups and downs, finally I arrested Samant Pratap. So both these criminals were arrested, and then Samant was very angry that I arrested him. I paraded him through the streets of Sheikhpura. I don't know it was right or wrong, but it was necessary to, destroy his facade, destroy his myth, and finish his terror in Sheikhpura. People were very happy. But Samant Pratap did not take it kindly, and he vowed that he'll come after my family. He made a few attempts on my children and my family, but we'll talk about it sometime else. It's a professional hazard. And then we
so
ensure that he,
that's exactly my next question, sir. I know that he went on to attack your family. How do you deal with that? How does one prepare themselves for a life threatening job, and not just a job where you're putting yourself at risk, but also your loved ones at risk? How do you deal with that?
see, Mishika, when I signed up the service, Indian Police Service, I knew what I'm signing up for. So I know it looks very glamorous from outside, the uniform, the vehicles, and the bodyguards and everything. But we face a lot of brickbats every day, not only from criminals, but also from the mob, from the public during a law and order situation. We face terrorists, we face Naxalites, all kinds of possible threats. Even during Corona, it's the policeman who's on the street. He's always susceptible to be affected by the virus, but he's always on the street to ensure that the restrictions of the lockdown are enforced. So it's a professional hazard. I will not say that I'm not concerned, but I'm not overly worried also because it's a part of the job. I'm a trained police officer. I know how to take care of myself and my family. And we do take precautions, but it's not that I lose my sleep over that because this is a part of the job. It will always keep happening.
Wow. At this point, sir, I'd like to tell my viewers that if this is not a superhero, then who is? I mean, all of us watch movies with these fake characters wearing masks and capes and get so fascinated by them. When we have real life heroes around us choosing our protection and safety over their own life and breath every single day. So, thank you so much, sir, for doing what you do, and a big shout out to your families as well for soldiering up, because they have to, they don't have a choice for, again, our safety.